Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening. Tonight, we are continuing on with our ongoing campaign, playing Paizo Publishing's Pathfinder role-playing game. We are playing through the very cool adventure path, Rise of the Runelords. And with me on tonight's journey are the two stars of the Wednesday night sessions. First up was Steve O. You logged in first.
Hello, I'm playing Elira, a half-elven wizardress.
And next up is Jeffrey.
Yeah, and I'm playing Ubungus Leafhand, the halfling rogue.
Very, very cool. So let's do the old camera shuffle here, guys, and get ourselves into Roll20, and then we'll do a bit of a recap. Oh, actually, we're all in Roll20. Nice. Let me kill my camera, share screens here. Goodbye. And share screens. Application. Window. There we go. And let's refresh this old guy. Present to everyone. That's refreshing. And let's see. Bump-a-dump-a-doom. Critically hitting. Oh, that's good stuff. I already scored a critical hit, guys. That doesn't bode well for you. Oh my goodness. Oh no. So, as you see, we're in Sandpoint. I think where our scene opens, guys, is we see the outside of a two-story inn. And on the top of this inn is a metal stylized dragon that's very rusty. That stylized rusty dragon is what gives the name to this inn. Because you see, the inn is the Rusty Dragon. So let's head over to the old Rusty Dragon. Come with me, guys, won't you? Boom, there we go. Now within here, oops, I've got our two heroes already. But let me here we go. Go to layer, token layer. Here we go. I'm just going to bring your buddies in there too. So not only are you guys in there, there's of course your newfound friend, Sir Marcius. And I'm going to swap screens here for a sec. Grab the tokens from our other friends here, or your other new friends, the brother and sister duo of Costin and Telebratha Kalinova. I mentioned to you guys, I think, that these two are actually cousins of James's character from our Iron Gods campaign.
Yeah, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Crossover.
All right, so sitting at the table as well is the beautiful Telebratha Kalinova and her brother, the handsome Costin Kalinova. So remember, this is what Costin looks like, guys. And of course, there is the lovely Telebratha. And Costin is played by, I believe it's Diego Luna. And Telebratha is played by a Breakfast Club era Ali Sheedy. And Sir Marcius is, of course, played in the movie version of our campaign by Sam Rockwell. And remind me, guys, who plays Elira and Ubungus?
Elira is played by Brittany Murphy.
That is correct. Oh, I think I'm getting...
And what's his first name?
Ubungus? Leafhand. Oh,
no.
You're thinking of, is it Richard?
I have it written down. Garfield. Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, I was trying to think of his first name.
There we go. Nice. Okay. So, let's see here. Everybody, so what we see is we hear everyone sort of laughing, and we hear this sort of a little bit high-pitched, not high-pitched, but I mean a little higher. It sounds like maybe like a teenage boy speaking. But as we get closer, we can see that it's actually this small halfling fellow who's standing on his chair and telling a story to the rapt audience that is around him. And this, as a reminder, guys, is the picture. I mean, this, I don't know if this fits with what you were picturing there, Jeff, but this is the picture I found.
Yeah. No, it's perfect.
Okay, great. And then, of course,
like
sitting with him is Elira, the half-elf sorceress, or a wizard, I should say. And what Ubungus is saying to the rapt audience, he says, and then we turned the corner and found a horde of 8 goblins. And this one of the kids in the corner kind of goes, you know, cornering in the at the end of the hall, the alleyway, an innocent man and his dog. We arrived too late to save his pet, but then we fell upon those villains. And, you know, which he sort of like jumps around and swish, you know, fakes like swinging a phantom sword that's in his hand. You know, he talks about the, you know, the crack of Costin's mighty rifle, the power of Elira's spells, and the sword, so the stalwart shield and mighty sword of Sir Marcius. And he hops down and kind of walks over and pats Sir Marcius on his back. And of course, me with my grandfather's bow. It's your grandfather's bow, wasn't it?
Well, I don't think I specified. It was someone from the village.
Yeah, it was a hero's bow.
The hero's bow from the village. Actually, it's not my grandfather.
Not your grandfather. It was what was the name of it? It was Grass something or other. That was the.
Yeah, it was.
Grass Point? Is that right? No.
Grass. Where are all my notes?
I didn't.
Oh, Grass Hill is the name of it.
Grass Hill. So the bow of Grass Hill raining down lethal and accurate shots, felling 1, 2, 3 goblins at a time, and you're sort of mining through doing each of them. But then one sinister goblin dismounted from his hideous mount, enormous, and he holds up this giant, crude-looking. It looks like a weaponized butcher's knife, basically. This in his hand, and approached the defenders of Sandpoint, and that's when he unleashed the foul sorcery that he had secreted on his person. And he gestures sort of at this necklace that's around Elira's neck. It's sort of brass thing with brass sort of ornamentation or necklace, I guess, that has some little baubles on it. Clutching one of the baubles, he smote it against the ground, consuming both him and the heroes in a violent immolation. But what he did not account for was the mettle of brave Sir Marcius. And he, though his allies had fallen, put that goblin in the ground and saved the generous man who's paying for our round. And everyone's sort of like, oh, you know, cheers. You see at the bar, there is that same guy who you had met in the alleyway, and his name is, where is he? Aldern Foxglove. So guys, this is what he looks like now. And for those listening at home, I'll quickly zoom in here. So this is what Aldern Foxglove looks like. And he is played by Rupert Everett in the movie version of this. So he sort of like laughs and cheers and smiles at you guys, and he's quite happy to be footing the round. He's quite wealthy, in fact. Let me see if I can make my wrong thing. I was trying to make a token for him, but so this is in fact later in the evening on that same day, and it seems that people have been quite grateful in the town of Sandpoint, to the point where you really think that if you keep actually drinking every one of the drinks that's being offered to you, you're pretty sure you're not going to make it upstairs to your room.
Okay.
So you you may wish to. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that. There's Aldern. So he is quite happy to buy you, be buying you guys the drinks you need here. Going to set up the token so you guys can see his name. So there we go. So yeah, Aldern is actually staying at the Rusty Dragon as well, and running around the dragon is, of course, Amiko Kaijitsu, the woman who owns this this inn. She is the lovely Tian woman who looks like, where are we here? Where are you, madam? Amiko, here we go. Here you go, guys. That's what Amiko looks like. And she, of course, in the movie version of our campaign, is played by the lovely Lucy Liu. So you found so that Aldern has insisted on not only buying you guys drinks and making sure, well, he's insisting on buying your drinks and your dinners and whatever else for tonight. He also has a cash reward for you as well. He is so grateful for you saving his life from those goblins that he is offering, I believe, it's a pretty substantial thing. I think it's like 200 gold pieces. And he has keeps talking. He's quite drunk at this point. Like he's really slurring his words quite a bit. But he keeps talking about, there's a boar hunt. There's a boar hunt. We're going to go on the boar hunt. And you're going to go with me. And we're going to find him. Thistleback will be mine. And he keeps talking about this boar named Thistleback. I think, you Bungus, you're trained in knowledge local, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, sure. Give me a knowledge local check. Let's see if you've heard about the legendary boar Thistleback. On 11. I don't think an 11 is quite good enough. But you are able to, you're likely going to be able to ask around, though. Let's see here. Knowledge local, local laws, rulers, and popular locations. Yeah, I think that's probably actually DC 10 is all you need. So yeah, what Thistleback is said to be is this like the meanest and most ornery boar to be found in the woods nearby. Let me show you give you a reminder, guys, of where you are. This is or rather, these are this map is the Tablelands. And in Tixwood, right up here. So where is it here? Sandpoint's right here, guys. I'm pinging.
Yeah.
And then if you go down, there's a road that leads down to, well, you can go two ways. You can go down the Lost Coast Road towards the Ticklewood, between Tankswood and Ticklewood, or Tickwood, not Ticklewood. Ticklewood is a much friendlier place than what Tickwood is. Because, of course, there are giant ticks in this game, which are fucking horrible to fight because they drain blood, I believe. So that's not a lot of fun. But anyway, in the Tickwood, there's also said to be this legendarily tough and mean beast called Thistleback. Now, there's another critter that's found in this region up near the Devil's Platter. That's the Sandpoint Devil. And you remember hearing that kid was telling you about that thing. And you guys, I think, both now. Oh, you don't yet. No, shoot. Jeff, surprise. I've got for you when I come to Winnipeg. You're getting a copy of this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you got, Steve's got his, but you got I think I sent you a PDF version of this already, but it is the beastie on the front there, that sort of like demonic horse, Pegasus thing. That is the Sandpoint Devil. So the Sandpoint Devil is obviously the most fearsome sort of local legend, but Thistleback sounds like a very close second, and Aldern is convinced and will not take no for an answer that you guys will help him find and down Thistleback. You will savor his ribs with a fine tangy barbecue sauce, says Aldern. So it seems like Aldern has plans for you. I mean, you guys had other reasons for arriving at Sandpoint, but Aldern seems to be quite intent on getting you to assist him as well. And you get the sense it's not like he's treating you like underlings or anything like that. He genuinely just likes you guys a lot now. You also see that Amiko's, or one of Amiko's staff members as well too, is sort of running around. It's a small halfling woman whose name, just give me a sec here, I gotta refresh my memory because I forgot to look it up. Oh, Bethana Corwin, right. And you remember meeting her before because Ubungus, you spoke to her to help figure out where that what was his name? Ulmer, yeah, Ulmer Denvakis. Remember the guy who ran the what do you call it? The grocer in town.
Yeah.
There's old Ulmer. Anyways, that's where you spoke to her. So basically, guys, the town is, first of all, they're paying now for your inn, so you don't have to pay any more money for your stay at the Rusty Dragon for as long as their gratitude lasts. You guys will not be paying anything.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. In addition, Father Xanthus, the Desmond priest, I'll show you him again, who was blessing the cathedral. He has used his, or one of his, I should say, wands of Cure Light Wounds to restore you guys to full health. You remember that both Telebratha and Elira got quite banged up in that fight, that last fight with that one goblin. But you guys are now back up to full, so please feel free to heal yourselves back up, and I'll actually restore these guys here. So Telebratha, where are you here? Oh, she's a whopping 7 hit points. My goodness. That is crazy. Your respective, for those, I can't remember what staggered advancement step you guys chose each, but that has been accounted for. I can't remember. I think, Jeff, you took hit points, didn't you? Like half your hit points you would get at the next level?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay, so that's already accounted for. So why don't you guys? No, actually, I'm sorry, but I got to run to the washroom very quickly before we launch into this the meat of the session. Why don't you tell me what, or talk it over between you guys? What do you want to do with your next day? It sounds like you've got a lot of goodwill that you can cash in on.
What should we do?
That was a great question.
Get some potions?
Yeah, I mean, we could look around to see if there's some, deals to be had, so to speak, with our newfound popularity.
Yeah. Do we? I mean, we have horses, right? Or do we?
My character doesn't have a mount that I know of. Do we have donkey? I don't know. We could probably look for one.
What are you guys looking for?
We're just talking about using our newfound popularity to, like, maybe, look for mounts.
Ooh.
See if we can get a deal. Like, if he wants to go hunting in the woods or whatever, then.
Oh, he's buying you mounts.
Oh.
Yeah, he's insisted on doing that. Like probably a no. I was trying to think there would be riding dogs available, but I think there would be because of the halfling families that are in Sandpoint. So it'll be a riding dog probably for Ubungus, and Marcia says he does not. Well, no, Marcia I think says he will take it. He doesn't. Oddly enough, you have this for this knight that he claims to be from Cheliax, a kingdom or an empire, I should say, further to the south. He doesn't have a horse. He's a pedestrian cavalier. But Koss and Telebratha, of course, are happy to take that as well. And yeah, so the I think Emiko walks up to you guys and says, so you've you made quite the name for yourself at the Swallowtail Festival. Was that your intention to come here and become heroes, or did you have what do you plan to do for your second day?
I was definitely here for adventure.
Well,
hero, not so planned.
Certainly, there's a lot of opportunity here. I spoke to some of the guards, or some of the town watch, and it seems like that no one seems to know where these things came from. I mean, rather why they came. Goblins are always a problem. There's hordes, or rather, there are tribes of them that infest the land surrounding the surrounding Sandpoint. But this is certainly bold for them.
Can you think of any reason why they would be coming at this time? Any sort of festivals? Any magics being performed? Any whispers or rumors?
I'm not certain. The goblins, I'm not certain how much experience you have with them, but they don't strike me as planners. They are creatures of impulse and caprice. They don't seem to attack in such an organized fashion, concealed in. They're devilishly clever when at certain times, but as dumb as as dumb as a mule on others. Do you know what you plan to do with your, or do you have any plans for how to spend your time in Sandpoint? I imagine that any door you knock on, you would be welcome at after today's performance. In fact, I'm not certain how your singing voices are, but I do hear that Sirdak Drokus, who runs the Sandpoint Opera, he seems intent to cast one of you in his next opus.
Well, there is a scholar in town I should probably talk to.
Yeah, you guys may remember that there are a bunch of other sort of rumors and stuff that you guys got. If you check, if you want to check your email as well too, because that's where actually might not be a bad idea just to refresh your memory as to what you guys showed up here for. Let me go to look at that, because to be honest, it's been a while since we've actually played this campaign at the time of recording. And let's see here. It's Allura. Boom. Oh yeah, right. So here's what Elira knew about Sandpoint. One of Elira's contacts in Riddleport, where you guys came from, suggested that speaking to a scholar named Brodert Quink may help you learn more about Thassalon, because remember that Elira came here to learn more. She's a member of the Cipher Mage Lodge, or the Cipher Lodge, and she's come here to learn about the ancient fallen empire of Thassalon. So apparently Brodert Quink may help you learn more about Thassalon, but you're cautioned that some of his ideas are a bit unconventional. Another suggests that you look up Enderkai Sorn, who's at a place called the House of Blue Stones, which is supposed to have one of the most impressive libraries on history and other worlds in all of Varesia. You also heard on the road that you should stop by a shop called the Curious Goblin, which has a legendary collection of books, although they are not said to come cheap. And of course, on the ship, you heard about that Varesian soldier who told you about Madame Niska Mavashti. And you met Madame Mavashti. Remember, she gave you a harrow reading.
Yeah.
And was quite disturbed by it. That's
right.
Related to Costin and Telebratha in some way. She is a Varesian, the sort of like Rom or Gypsy, people who live in Varesia. One of the two people who are originally from this region. And then as for Ubungus heard that there was, of course, Olmer Den Vacus, a fellow halfling who runs a grocer's hall in Sandpoint. You heard a little bit about the Rusty Dragon, where you guys find yourself now, and that the hospitality of Emiko Kaijitsu it's heard, or it's well known throughout the rest of Varesia, and certainly as far as Riddleport. You also had the Hagfish Tavern recommended to you, which is said to host the ugliest fish in all the Inner Sea and some of the best card games: cards, dice, checkers, darts, anywhere to be found along the Varesian Lost Coast. If you want my recreation of the more carnal nature, you've heard terrific things about the Pixie's Kitten, run by the enchanting Kay Tassarani. And some of your less reputable friends there, Ubungus, have told you to keep your eye out for Sandpoint's local law enforcement, which is run by a big Shawanti man named Sheriff Baylor Hemlock.
Yeah, we've met him.
You've met, that's right. And for the viewers at home, you want to know what Sheriff Baylor Hemlock looks like. He looks just like this, and it's played by Bruce Willis. And the Shawanti are the other people who are native to Varesia. They're big, barbaric, more primitive peoples who worship spirits and who have a proclivity to tattoo themselves. And they live further off in the wilds in central Varesia. But Hemlock is a civilized Shawanti. Speaking, I just went to the wrong fucking page. Hold on here. Gotta go back. Zig when I should have zagged. Damn it. There we go. So, speaking of Sheriff Hemlock, you guys are standing around when the door sort of creaks open, and you see walking through the door none other than Sheriff Baylor Hemlock. He's wearing, of course, his big, heavy metal armor. He's got that giant maul in his hand as well, too, which honestly, it could be the way he carries it makes you think that it weighs no more than a switch of wood. Let's give him a token here. Baylor Lock. Oh, and I think, can you guys see it? Here we go. So he walks in the door. He sort of does that Bruce Willis cocked eye thing, and he's looking around at the crowd. And he sees you guys, and he approaches. And as he's approaching, Emiko looks over and says, "Hello, Sheriff." And Baylor sort of, nods in her direction and carries on towards you guys. And when he gets to you, he sort of waits for you guys to finish talking or whatever. And Emiko turns and goes back to her work. And Baylor walks up. And I think you're probably still standing on the chair at this point, Ubungus. You're still just finish up telling your story, and you're still sort of running on adrenaline. And Baylor walks up to you guys and sort of, takes in the lot of you, makes eye contact with each of you, and says, "I'm Sheriff Baylor Hemlock. You're the heroes of the Swallowtail Festival. Is that right?"
That's correct.
Well, I know that you've done a lot for Sandpoint. You saved a lot of lives by driving off and slaying those goblins. But I've got something that I might need your help with. Can I trouble you again?
Well,
Okay.
Depends what it is, I guess.
He sort of looks around and at the gathered crowd. He says, "I'd rather not discuss it here, if you understand." He sort of cocks his eye again. He's looking back and forth between you guys as if like, are you picking up what I'm putting down here?
Alira nods and says, "Is there another time and place where we should reconvene?"
Well, ma'am, perhaps I didn't make myself clear. I do need your help.
He looks around again and sort of lowers his voice.
Now, there's something that needs looking into, and from your performance earlier today, I suspect you're exactly the assistance that I need.
And Costin sort of, with great flourish, sort of like stretches and then, puts his feet down. He's got them propped up on an empty chair right now. And he says, of course, Sheriff, we are always of assistance, or always at the disposal of the town of Sandpoint. And he says,
Galanova, how about you, knight?
and Sir Marcia says, well, can't have the women going on their own. And he hops up. Of course, he's just ignored the fact that Costin said he's going as well. And Sir Marcius turns to you. How about you, Small Fry?
I'd be willing to help.
And you, little lady? He sort of, winks at you, Alira.
Well, I'll go where everybody else is going.
Well then, says Baylor, seems that you'll all be joining me. Please, gather what you need. You should come.
He looks around again.
Prepared.
And he sort of like, gestures with his giant maul. What are you guys going to do? You going with Sheriff Hemlock?
Yeah, unwillingly,
Guess
It's
so.
not my favorite plan, but
Okay, let me get select the tokens here. I have everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, okay. Let me swap. There we go. Here's everybody. Okay, so Hemlock, as soon as you step outside, he grabs a torch that's been left outside, and he lights the thing again. He holds it up against one of the torches that's burning outside of the Rusty Dragon, and begins walking through the town with you.
And he says, I appreciate you joining me for this. And I know that the day's been difficult for you, but there's something that needs to be dealt with immediately. So you see, shortly after the attack by the goblins, or after the attack by the goblins, it took us quite a while to figure out why they may have come. And if I'm being honest, we still don't really know. We don't know why they came here. After dealing with the injuries and chasing off the last of the goblins, I had Father Xantus come to me not long before I came to collect you. You were, of course, and he kind of looks at you guys, quite easy to track down. Words spread through Sandpoint. Your names are going to be famous. What Father Xantus told me is that when he was doing his usual pass through the boneyard, that he noticed that something was disturbed. I'm going to bring you guys to the map here. What you guys are doing, remember, the Rusty Dragon is right here. I believe it's 38.
or 37.
Oh, it was Rusty Dragon 37?
Yeah, isn't it that weird shape? I think it's that weird
Oh,
shape.
maybe. Yeah, to be honest, I should actually take a look at the...
Just going by what the map looks like, I think it's like...
It's 37? Oh, yeah, of course. No, you're totally right.
Just going by the shape.
Let's see, where is it? You are absolutely right. Okay, so he is leading you down Market Street, and people, as you're passing by people too, they're just like, "Hi, Ubungus! Hi, Alira!" You know, sort of. You guys are already very well known. He leads you through town, up Main Street, and then down Tower Street and towards the cathedral. Right in the back there, guys, where number 2 is, that the Boneyard, and that seems to be where he's taking you. I'm not sure what you know of the history of our town, says Sheriff Baylor. But there was a great fire several years ago. Many people died in it, including our previous priest. The old church was not nearly as impressive as this cathedral, but it was still something. And when it burned down, not only did it take part of the upper town with it, it also killed Father Ezekiel Tobin. And we were able to recover what we could from the remains of the fire. And his remains were put to rest in the Boneyard with blessings of Desna and secure and with dignity. But tonight, Father Xantus saw that Father Ezekiel's his tomb has been disturbed. I don't know what waits inside, but I need you to deal with whatever might be in there. If there are more goblins hiding, we've already found those fool things around town. There was one just off the grocer's post that drowned itself trying to hide in a water barrel. So I don't know what these things thought. But I trust that if you have dealt with the goblins before, you will be the ones who can capably deal with whatever is within. Am I right in that assessment?
Can certainly try.
Well, hopefully your trying works out as well as it did earlier today. And if you have any, it's a bit of a walk to actually really get there. So if you guys have any other questions for him or whatever, I think you've got time to ask him about that.
Sheriff, what do you think the cause of all the goblins is this time around?
I don't really know. But if you want to know someone who knows a lot about the goblins, well, if you can catch her in town, talk to Shalelu Andasana. Shalelu's an elven woman, ranger. She tracks and monitors the goblin tribes. I haven't seen her, and normally she has some sort of warning or offers some sort of warning when the goblins are setting up ambushes along the Lost Coast Road. But this time, no warning. This is the first time that they've raided directly into Sandpoint. I don't know what they're offering or what they're after, but you can see why I'm concerned about the tomb and vault being disturbed. Anything else you guys want to ask before you get to the Boneyard?
Not me.
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay. So you guys make your way through, and then you get to the Boneyard. Now, to access the Boneyard, guys, you actually have to go sort of all the way down Church Street here, up to Combe Street, or Combe Street, I guess, or Tomb Street. Ooh, even better. Up to Tomb Street, and then you go through that little gated entrance there where I'm pinging. And as you guys get in there, You guys have passed through the town, and while there is still, there are signs of the violence and the destruction has happened in the town. It's not like this place was sacked by giants. Goblins are vicious and murderous and destructive little buggers, but they are 2.5, 3 feet tall. The amount of actual damage they can do is fairly limited, and you guys managed to drive them off. So there still is some people who were still celebrating. As you got closer to the cathedral, that seems to have died off. But as you walk down Tomb Street and you enter the gate into the boneyard, it becomes nearly as silent as its namesake. There are rows and rows of tombs before you. The moon is high in the sky. Tombstones rise up like fingers grasping from the rolling hills or rolling but manicured lawns. And here and there are some freestanding tombs. There's actually not many of them in here, largely because this town itself is just really not that old. It's not like it's got centuries and centuries of time beneath its belt. It is a relatively new town. But Hemlock leads you through, his torch held high, and towards one of the smaller structures. You can see as you're passing by, there are some names on the various tombs. One of those names is written both in a language that you guys recognize and one that you do not. The language that you recognize in the common tongue reads Kaijitsu. And you may remember that's Miko's last name.
Interesting.
As a bit of trivia, Jeff, because I think you made this roll before, Ubungus did, you noticed that the Sandpoint was actually founded by several wealthy families. One of them is the Kaijitsus, who run the Sandpoint Glassworks, and then the others, the names escape me right now. Oh, one of them is the mayor, whose name escapes me right now. But there were, I believe it's 5 families that founded Sandpoint. Remember that they came there, they found that the local Varisians had been using Sandpoint as sort of a place for meeting, like a caravan center or like a gypsy camp kind of. And as a result, even though they had the charter from Magnamar, from the bigger city further to the south, that they found where they wanted to set up the town, it was occupied already. But unfortunately, one of those family members, one of the families, whose name is the Scarnettis, right? The Scarnettis went in and basically took them and some thugs and kicked the shit out of the Varisians to try and drive them off. But that led to eventually payment of reparations and then an agreement with the Varisians that effectively they'd be sort of always welcome in Sandpoint. And that's one of the other names you see in here too. The Scarnetti name is on one of these tombs. The one that you're approaching, though, it has outside of the tomb, in this light, or rather in the daylight, you imagine that this is quite a beautiful looking tomb. You may remember that the symbol of Desna is the butterfly, and that's sort of what what is depicted on here. But the thing is, in this stark moonlight and the flickering torchlight of this, it gives the impression that this tomb has oversized insects and bugs that are just crawling across it. So it doesn't have the serene and religious connotation, at least not in this light. It reads more like you know, turning over a stone and finding it crawling with Dionysian critters. So let me swap maps here, guys, and set where you are. So here we are. You guys walk up, and out the outside of this tomb, you definitely can see that there's, again, those sort of stylized butterflies and whatnot, and there is the symbol again of Desna, that same butterfly symbol. But the doors that lead inside this tomb are ajar. As you're walking up, Sir Marcius says, "Aren't those supposed to be closed?" And Hemlock sort of looks at him as his eyebrow, you know, cocked up in that the way that only Bruce Willis can. Yes, sir. That's why Father Xantus found it peculiar. Now, I will keep watch, but I'd like you to deal with whatever is in there. If there are more of these goblins in there. He sort of leaves it, you know, to, all right, this is what you need to do. So, what are you guys going to do? Now, you have not had an opportunity to prepare your spells yet because you haven't slept. Because you need to do a full 8-hour rest for your spells to recover. What do you want to do, guys?
Combat units in front.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go ahead. You control over your tokens. I'll move Hemlock so he's sort of at the back of the pack here. I'll move Costin a little forward. And Hemlock, you don't need to worry about who's carrying a torch because Hemlock's got the torch up high.
Okay. Is Hemlock coming in with us?
No, he's going to walk. He's sort of keeping an eye out in case it's an ambush.
Okay.
Or in case there's, you know, to make sure no one. I mean,
So,
there's no one in this thing, but
I guess Sir Martis and will lead the way.
okay. So Marcius is first. Who wants to go with him? I'll let you guys.
Will be like close behind him, like on the side.
Okay.
I guess Costin is probably.
Yeah, let me take a look at my handy spread on Hero Lab. For those listening at home, we actually just recently started using Hero Lab for our Pathfinder games, and it is fucking awesome.
Now
so
they are snap to grid, Kev, but I actually imagine that we're in this formation with Ubungus kind of right in the middle between Marcius and Costin with his bow drawn. Like,
well, you can't really, like, the reason it snaps to grid, like, just as like out of character, is because you need to have that sort of like the space you need to avoid being like to effectively fight properly. You know, like if you don't have that free space, you're not going to be able to. You'll take a penalty to your attacks. You're smaller than what everyone else is, so you can squeeze in there, but it'll I think it'll be a problem for either Costin or for Sir Marcius.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the thing is that with Pathfinder, like, because the rules are so comprehensive, it you know, it doesn't concede anything to like cinematic license. So you're gonna kind of have to pick where you want to have your guy, and that's sort of where he.
Yeah, that's fine if that's the way you want it. Yeah.
So let me just, I clicked on the wrong thing. I was trying to check what, where is he here? Bungus. Boom. Bungus, where are you, buddy? Where are you? Personal, that's what I wanted. Humongous is 3'1". You know, you're only 35 pounds?
Yeah. What?
Wow.
Yeah, you're tiny.
You're like a
Pathfinders
baby.
are not that big, man.
Yeah, he is not big.
I think I
didn't
could
realize.
curl you.
Oh yeah, he is only 35 pounds. Yeah, he's not very big at all.
That is awesome.
He's a twig.
He's very, very small. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so Sir Marcius is up there. His, his sword or his sword and shield drawn. Let's see here. So I think the way we had it before, I was controlling Talabratha because she's more of a support character, and then I think Steve, were you controlling Sir Marcius?
I had been, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, you carry on with Sir Marcius in combat, and Jeff, if you can carry on with Costin. So Costin has his musket loaded. Oh, Annabelle, where's Annabelle? He's fucking Bush League DM. I'm trying to handicap you guys by not supplying all of your allies.
Where's Annabelle?
I think you guys should call bullshit on that and demand a change of dealers. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Not to worry. And scampering alongside of old Costin, boom, his faithful animal companion, Annabelle the Chimp. So Annabelle might be more effective as sort of a frontline person alongside.
Right, she would definitely be. So maybe we would actually be 3 rows then.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and position yourselves. I'm going to put Annabelle. Now, remember that with anytime you want to
actually just here.
Let's see here.
I would just change it to this, like so. Then with Annabelle, oops, beside Marcius, with Costin right behind, yeah, like that.
Okay, so let me see here. I'm just checking. She has, where is it here? Hunter's Tricks. I'm trying to figure out where that is listed. Because one of the neat things it does for the minions in the game is it gives you this is a Hero Lab. Hero Lab actually tracks what tricks you've got. Oh, here we go. I found it. Okay, so basically to get it to do a trick, you can do things like attack or defend or fetch or flank. If you wanna get Annabelle to sneak behind so that your bonus can get the benefit of a sneak attack, say, you can use the flank trick. And I think commanding an animal, I'm just going to double check in the rulebook. And for those listening at home, forgive me for wasting time looking this shit up. It's just that this is our first campaign playing Pathfinder, so we're trying to use the sort of rule of like looking it up once so we don't have to look it up again. And for one, the skill I'm thinking of is called handle animal, not animal handling. So maybe I should look up the correct thing here. Okay, and what is the action for it? Handling an animal is a move action. Okay, so to handle an animal, that's what you need to use to do your tricks, unless Costin's got something to do it for free, which I don't think he does. So you could sneak, stay, flank, fetch, defend, attack, or aid. Those are the tricks that Annabelle knows.
Okay.
What do you think Costin's sort of doing or telling Annabelle?
To aid Marcius.
To aid. Okay, so what aid means is that she'll basically be trying to grant him a +2 bonus to his attacks against whatever target he has. So would you kindly give me a animal handling check, please?
Let's
pull up
on this sheet.
Costin.
Where is Costin? Animal handle. I'm assuming. Wait, what? It's not on here. Oh.
Under.
I found it.
Okay. 25. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. Okay. So, Annabelle is sort of like, staying down low near where Sir Marcius is making his way forward. So you walk up, and these are these pretty large, heavy doors, and you walk up and sort of, you can push your shield, or Sir Marsh pushes his shield up against one and pushes it to the side, and it creaks open. Excuse me. And the light behind you spills in. Are you guys ready to see what's within?
Absolutely.
Bring it on.
Okay. So ready? Here we go. 1, 2. You know, you're absolutely sure you want to see this.
100%.
1, 2, 3. So, standing in there, shambling, are 2 desiccated skeletons who turn their vacant eyes, taking you in. Their shoulders, or rather the bones that used to make up their shoulders, go up, and within their hands are these battered scimitars, which still look to be deadly effective. They look at you. Well, they don't growl, but their jaws open up wide. And you can tell that what they're saying is roll initiative. So let's grab my dice. Boom. You guys kindly click on your, remember to click on the token and then roll initiative for the character, and it will populate in the initiative tracker. Oops, that's the dice roller. Wrong fucking thing, Kev. Boom, there it is. Turn order. Okay. All right, and I will add the skellies in.
To open it right.
Here we go. Come on, Skellington. What do we got here?
Okay.
Holy shitballs. Okay.
Nice.
Where's the initiative? Is it
believe-
right at the top?
I think it's in your... Well, Steve, where'd you find it?
There we go.
It's yeah, under core, and then just go down half a page.
Okay, Skellington gets... They are very quick. One of the downsides to using both Hero Lab and Roll20 and rolling actual dice is that I'm kind of all over the fucking place right now of where my stuff is. Okay, we've got, let's see here.
Yeah, anyway.
Oh, you know what? Annabelle's going to just act on Costin's turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's fine. Thank you for rolling that, though. Okay, so Steve, I just need you to click on for Sir Marcius.
Sir Marcius.
That's the only trick of running a few characters.
Yeah, is the swapping around. What are we doing here?
Sir Marcius.
I have no characters showing up in my thing here. What the what? Oh, you know why? Hold on, because it's... There we go. For some reason, it put my name in the search function, and unsurprisingly, there's no character named Dungeon User in here. So, what are you doing, game? All right, so let's roll for good old Tala. All righty. Whoa, she did really well. All right, so let's put this in descending order. Boom. So Talabraith is up first. She gasps. You know, at seeing these things in there, and I think you guys have all benefited from her blessings so far today, right? The thing that gives you guys advantage. Have both of
yeah. So.
Yeah, fortune. Okay. I'm just going to click on that, see what the range is. Oh, 30. I don't think Annabelle has. I could be wrong about that.
I honestly can't remember. That's a little too long ago.
So she gestures with her hand, and this Harrow card appears, which, incidentally, looks like this. Let's see. Whoosh. Oh, no, that's the wrong thing. Nope, that's the wrong thing as well. Jesus. You know, I feel like there's a lesson to be learned here in terms of prepping my props ahead of time. Ooh. Pulls out this sucker. And then it vanishes from her hand. And Annabelle will have advantage on the next attack she makes. Next up, these very, very quick skeletons leap forward with vicious and clear murderous intent here. One of them runs forward, brings its scimitar around, and let's see here. It swings this jagged piece of rusted metal against Sir Marcius, and he easily batters it to the side. And then the other goes racing forward as well and swings at Annabelle. An 11, I don't think hits Annabelle.
No, I don't think so.
No, you know, I've got my tactical interface set up right now. Annabelle's AC
No,
is
it's
a 15.
15, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So that means the skeletons have taken their turns. Next up is Illyra. What are you doing?
Illyra will use her apprentice, hand of the apprentice, and spike one of these guys with her dagger.
Okay. That's awesome. Okay, so what you're going to do, though, that's the ability. You need to go to your attacks.
Attacks.
Yeah, click on the little attacks tab, and that will give you
Got
the
it.
actual attack version. Perfect.
All right. Where is it?
If you click on attacks, it should be. Let me. I'm
Oh.
assuming I put. Oh, do you find it?
I was on the wrong person there. Hold on.
Why doesn't the Cavalier have my wizard ability? What the fuck?
Exactly. There we go.
Okay, sorry. Mine
Nah.
is taking sweet time. 12 versus AC. Unfortunately, these things are pretty freaking quick. So you lash out. And actually, you know what? They would have cover as well because you got two of your allies in the way there. And yeah, so that's unfortunately, it goes wide. All right, Illyra, are you moving as well, or is that it?
That's it for Illyra.
Okay, so it's mark 1 use of your Hand of the Apprentice. And next up is Ubungus. What are you doing, Ubungus?
I guess he will attempt to shoot through there. It's not easy, but...
No, and I think that they've got might have cover as well too. I'm just going to see what line. Actually, you go ahead and make your roll. I'll look it up. If I find the rules in time, then I will apply them. But if not, it's not going to affect how you roll anyway.
Where's the... Let's see here. Attack. Ranged. So do I have to subtract something from it?
No, you just roll that. We have to do the math in our heads, like the circumstantial things.
Well, it's not even close. So. It's a 9.
9. No, unfortunately,
Not bad enough that I hit my allies, but it is not a very good hit.
So, I don't think it's actually big creatures. It might be concealment that I'm thinking of, because concealment and Okay, so I'll look up the rules for that between now and the next session, because I'm confused. I've confused myself. I've overthought this. I think. All right, so you pull that the bow of Greenhill, and you loose this arrow, but unfortunately it goes back to the back of the tomb, and you can hear the the arrow kind of killed off the back of this blackened tomb. Next up is Costin. What's Costin doing?
Costin will fire as well.
No, I don't think I was changing to Costin here. I don't think Costin has what do you call it? Precise shot. No, he doesn't. He's got neither press. So he doesn't have precise shot. Oh, one circumstantial thing you would have had there, Humongous, remember, is because you have point blank shot, you get +1 to hit any with range attacks within 30 feet.
Oh, okay. So he can't shoot. Okay.
Oh, you know what? Shit. They're also engaged right now, and because you don't have precise shot yet, you've got -4 to hit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that there was.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, you were way ahead of me there. Sorry, I had my fucking head around cover. So, all right.
Doesn't he have a spell?
He does, but hunters do get spells, but he is somewhat limited in what he's got.
Has he used his entangle already?
He has, yeah. He used that on. Remember that the first one when you guys first fought those, the second wave of goblins in that first area near the cathedral, because he entangled like those things, a bunch of the goblins, and he entangled the what the heck's it called? The bard that you guys fought, the war chanter. Anyway, so what's Costin gonna do?
I wonder if he should back up, like get Annabelle to back up. So he'll move 1 step this way. Or actually, he'll move here.
Okay.
And he'll prepare his battle axe, and he'll direct Annabelle to back up.
Okay. So then...
she act on his turn?
Yes, she does. And that would be... Let me just get back to Annabelle here.
She was aiding Costin.
Yes, so this would be... She's actually... Okay, so this would be pushing her then. So it's a DC 20 for your handle animal, and it'll be your full... That'll be a... I think it's a standard action to push. Well, basically what it means is that it's a trick they don't know. So you're trying to get her to do that instead. So pushing is increases the DC by 2, and come is a DC 17. Oh, so 15. So 17 is what you need.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, actually, so pushing an animal is a full round action. But a full round action, you're still able to take a 5-foot step, so you're fine to make that step. So yeah, everything. Which way does she go? She.
Oh, yeah, she's backing up like that. I'm just trying to draw them out of there so that we can actually hit them.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so because she's doing a 5-foot step, doesn't attract an attack of opportunity. So then, next up is Sir Marcius. What are you doing?
Marcius is going to... He wants to hit something.
That does sound like something he likes doing.
Yes. And doesn't he have a challenge or something like that? A Cavalier's challenge? Or
yes, although it's only once per day.
Oh, okay.
Right, and I think he used that against that named goblin that last fight.
Right.
Did he? I'm trying to remember if he did or not. Oh, you know what? We can look through the... We can look through the chat and see if he's actually used it. I think he did.
Yeah, pretty sure.
But yeah, challenge. I can see it right here. God, I love roll 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. There we go. Damage 4.
Whoa. Okay. So there's a couple things happening here that I want to talk through, guys. So first off, he's using that big old bastard sword of his. He swings in. Now that is definitely a hit that solidly connects. But here's the thing. I'm going to introduce you guys to a concept known as damage reduction. So what damage reduction is, guys, is certain kinds of critters, such as skeletons and goblins and werewolves or other lycanthropes and stuff like that, have an ability called damage reduction. And as you may not be terribly shocked to hear, it reduces damage. So what damage reduction can have a bunch of different modifiers with them. So there can be things like damage reduction 5, the amount that it reduces, and then it can give things like silver. So like werewolves, any weapon that isn't whatever the required thing is or identified thing is, it reduces it by whatever the amount of the damage reduction is. So in this case, skeletons are particularly resilient to anything other than bludgeoning damage. So because of the slashing damage, he hits this thing, and you can hear sort of like there's clattering bones that go, off from this thing's side, but it doesn't do anything to it because the damage reduction reduces his damage by 5, which means he does no damage to this thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so the next up is Talbratha. If I can get this thing to work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Talbratha is going to I'm not sure if she's got anything particularly useful left to do here. Let's see. I'm just gonna look at her on because this is taking a sweet time to load here. I'm just gonna look at her on Hero Lab. She's out of spells right now. What are her? Because I've used Ill Omen. Light is not going to do much. She does not have a lot to do right now. My goodness. What I think she will do is she'll cast again that fortune on on Annabelle. So if Annabelle does attack, then she will get a bonus. Then it is the Skelly's turn. So one of those is now skeletons may be quite durable, but they are quite dumb. So because it went running towards the ape and the ape has drawn her back, it goes going forward. And it's just going to be a 5-foot step. So there's no attack of opportunity. And then it's going to try and attack Annabelle again. 7 is not going to hit. So it swings that nasty looking scimitar over its head. But then this other one redoubles its efforts against Sir Marcius. Oh, shit, a nat 20. So that is, let's get out the old critical hit deck. Because I know you guys love that. But first, let's see if we confirm the critical. So here we go. In order to confirm the critical, remember I need to hit Sir Marcius a second time. Let's see what happens here. Oh, no. I'm not going to be able to use my critical deck today.
Oh.
Because I did not confirm.
Oh.
So this thing, wham, hits him. But it does, because we're using the optional rule to do max damage, it does connect and does max damage. And with its vicious sword, it does. Let's see here. Thank you. Here we go. Let's do another attacks. 6 points of damage to Sir Marcius. So he gets kind of like, I'm picturing it sort of battered his sword to the side of it, and then saw an opening. And as Sir Marcius is bringing back his sword on the backswing to hit this thing again, it slashes forward with its scimitar and cuts right across the inside of his arm. All right. Next up is Illyra. What are you doing?
Illyra, if she moves here, can she use her Ray of Frost on that thing?
Not without drawing an attack of opportunity, because your Ray of Frost is a ranged attack. It's also engaged with other targets, so it means that you would have -4 to hit as well, because you don't have precise shot. However, your Ray of Frost targets its touch attack, so that actually might be easier to hit it. So it may, net the same. What are you thinking?
See here. So range. So range is 25. So I don't have to be.
Yeah, you could probably do that from where you were if you want.
Right. Let's rock.
Okay, so you click on the attack for Ray of Frost, and it'll be -4 because it's engaged. You're firing into melee, I should say.
Okay.
Come on, Steve. I got my critical hit deck out here. Come on. Let me get some use out of it.
All right. Let's see here.
And don't roll critical fumble again. I don't want someone bleeding wisdom again. That was crazy. Remember that?
Yes.
You sound thrilled. Yes, fucker, I remember. All right, so touch attack. Oh, you know what? If it wasn't for them being in melee, you would absolutely hit. But unfortunately, because what you do is you sort of begin you speak in your arcane language again. You gesture with your hands, and this little bolt of bluish, frost that sort of leaves this trail of snow behind it goes flying at this thing. But as this thing, it's sort of like going back and forth, and it swings down towards Annabelle. And as it does, your ray of frost goes over it, and you hear something. You hear the frost hit somewhere inside the tomb. You Bungus, what are you gonna do?
Could I see that Sir Marcius's attack didn't really do anything to it?
Yes, I think you did. Yeah.
Hmm.
You look at the pointy end of your arrow, and you think, "Fuck, how's this gonna be more effective against a skeleton?"
Yeah. Do I have another weapon? I have that weapon I can't use.
Now you can see inside. Well, that's actually a slashing weapon as well, so it likewise may not be terribly effective. What you could try and do is grab an improvised weapon, like say, what can you see inside the tomb there?
I currently can't see anything hardly.
Okay, let me try. I should check on. I'm gonna click on and see what you can see here.
It's pretty dark.
Oh, I can see something.
I can see a coffin.
There's a coffin on the top. What's in the bottom there, though?
Oh, I don't. Oh, I guess it looks like just some loose wood. Okay, I'll attempt to make an acrobatics move.
Right. So interesting. Do you remember what you can use your acrobatics for?
No, I don't.
Okay. So acrobatics can be used to avoid attacks of opportunity.
Oh, okay, perfect.
What you do is
what I want to do.
You are going to make an acrobatics check against the CMD, or is it the CMD or CMB? Yeah, CMD, the combat modifier of defense, or combat maneuver defense, rather, again, of the skellies. So let's see, what is their CMD? Their CMD is, oh my goodness, that high. Whew. Let's see if you can do it.
Okay. The old acrobatics. No problem.
Awesome. So you see that this is your weapons are likely to be ineffective against this thing. You scamper past Sir Marcius. You dive between the two skellies. You're so quick they can't even get an attack off on you. So go ahead and basically make your full movement if you like. I mean, you can move 4 squares basically with your move because you're
right. But I'll just go here because I'm then going to try and find sort of an improvised club of the wood.
Now, again, just as we get in the habit of doing this, remember Pathfinder is very literal in all of its actions. Right now, you have an arrow and a bow in your hands.
Right. I will just drop them on the ground.
Okay, so that's free action to drop them, which means you still have a standard action. I think that there's, so I think that whatever's in there. Let me see if there's.
So I'll roll for a search or what?
No, I mean I think this is just
it's just if it's there or not. If there's something there or not that would work. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just a matter of luck, and I'm trying to see if there is. We play altogether far too many games. Like I say, so improvised weapon, but I don't remember if there is something called an improvised weapon in this. I think what we're looking for is a club. Oh, you know what? I should do a search for improvised weapon. Thank you, index.
I mean, there has to be like it.
Yeah.
I mean, if not, that's kind of silly because I mean that's.
Oh, totally.
It just breaks too far with reality. Like I mean, you can pick anything up in the real world and start using.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm sure there was like the game is so comprehensive. I'm just trying to find stats for the damn thing. Where is it here? I'll tell you what. Here's what I want to say is, go ahead and give me a D20 roll. If you roll a 10 or higher, an 11 or higher, then you found a club that's the perfect size for you to use. It's still an improvised one, but it's for you to use. If you roll a 19 or 20, it's actually like a full-on club. There's no an improvised weapon you take a -4 penalty with. But if you roll a 19 or 20, you found actually like a perfect actual club, no penalties whatsoever.
Right, like it's a perfectly balanced little piece of wood.
Yeah, it just works out that this bit of ruin is the perfect size.
All right, look, here we go.
This looks quite recent, by the way.
Oh, so close.
Would you roll? Oh, so it's not populating in mine.
17.
Oh, so close. Well, fortunately, you did find something though, so it's at least it's not it's not causing a penalty or any. It's not an oversized thing. So that means the club for you will do 1d4 bludgeoning damage. So fuck off, damage reduction. Effectively, it does the same as, what do you have? Let's see here. I don't have any. Just go ahead and roll your dagger attack, I guess. And then we'll just have to roll damage separately if you hit. So
right. I have a melee button, so it would just be this.
Yeah, so you've got that in your hands right now. Oh, shoot. Yeah, you're... Oof. Well,
that's not a real roll. I'm not attacking this turn. I just...
No, you're picking it up. Okay, cool. So you've got a club in your hands. You are ready to go. All right, next up is Costin. What is Costin doing? So this thing's out. I think Costin was swapping to his battle axe this time, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it Costin's turn?
It is, yeah.
Okay, so now that he's got a shot there, he can swing at this thing.
Yeah. I'm refreshing my Roll20 interface right now because it is chugging. Taking sweet time.
Oh, gross.
How'd you do? Sorry, I can't actually see.
It's a 10 versus AC.
Oh, no. 10 versus AC is unfortunately, yeah, these things are quite quick. So it sees you and kind of ducks back just in time, and that battle axe swings wide. Next up will be Sir Marcius, though.
Sir Marcius, can he attack and then move?
I think you can, yes.
Okay. Well, he's gonna attack that one in the middle there, same as last time, and then he's gonna move. I think then he's gonna take a 5-foot step.
Okay. So, sorry, my Roll20 is just reloading right now, so you have to. I can't see what's going on, but please go ahead and make your roll and whatever.
Oh man.
Was it a crap roll again?
Yeah.
What'd you roll?
12 versus AC.
Oh shoot! These are really hard to hit. Are just warming up. They have a sensitive dramatic, and they are waiting to really make it count for you. I think it's that hit that the so my Roll20 is reloading right now, guys. I got a white screen. Who's up next in the initiative order?
Yeah, your connection is.
It's what happens with Roll20 every time we play on other than Wednesday, it seems. My internet decides to actually, slow down. Okay, so Sir Marcius, you've gone. It's Tala again, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Talabratha. All right, here we go. We're moving a little better now. Talabratha is going to. She's got not much to do, to be honest. Oh, she's going to give a thing to Annabelle. We forgot to go with Annabelle.
Oh. Right.
Let's assume that Costin, while we did, Costin would not have. And the reason I want to do that is because it gives us another opportunity to talk about commands. So because you told her to come, that's what she's doing right now. Now what you can do is give her the trick and say attack or whatever you want to do.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So Costin tells her to attack.
Yep. Awesome.
So does he roll his thing again, or because she knows it? Does he still roll?
It means it is a move action instead of a full round for him to do that. And incidentally, in game, like for the NPCs, I'm not too fussed, but like if in Iron Gods one of you guys decided to have a pet or something like that, you can use handle animal to like in game train them and make them learn new tricks.
Right.
It's pretty cool. Ooh, a 10. Let's see here. Where are you?
That goes with the trick she knows.
Yeah, let's see what her trick is. Attack has a DC of 20.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
He's like, he only has a handle animal of 1.
He's only got +1 with it?
Oh, no, with his charisma bonus, sorry, it's a 6 total.
+6 total. Okay, I thought he was a little better than that, yeah. I will need to look at the...
That's a tough command. Holy.
Yeah, and I mean, hold on here. Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
Wait, how is his command so high, actually?
Oh, because he gets a bonus to command as a hunter.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a class bonus he gets towards it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, ignore me. That's the 20 is if you're pushing it. That's the baseline for pushing it. This is it's a 10. It's a DC 10. So yes, she absolutely can attack. Go ahead and make your attacks. And because they're natural attacks, she can do all of hers because she remains stationary. As a full round action, do all of your regular attacks.
Slam. Nice. Slam. So that's 1 slam hit, I think.
Oh shit! And 1 possible crit. 12 does not confirm, unfortunately. So, wow. Okay, so then that's bludgeoning damage. So here's the badass thing. Where Marcius is having trouble with this, Annabelle just goes up and she literally goes apeshit. And fucking smashes this thing like to the ground, then grabs its rib cage and sort of like, pushes it and tosses those bits off in either direction. One of the skellies is gone. It falls down, a lifeless heap of bones to the ground. So well done, Annabelle. Tala then says, let's see here, what's she going to do? She's already used her healing on Sir Marcius, I think. I don't remember, actually. Dang it. Oh, you know what? Hold on. No, I'm not going to bother going back. You know what? I'm going to say she hasn't. Let's see here, because why not? I want to do some healing. Come on, character sheet. Here we go. Abilities. I just don't remember whether she can do it by touch. You know what I need to do between now and the next session, guys, is A, prepare before these things a little better so I remember what their abilities are, and B, print off their character sheets. Okay, so this is a touch action. So what she's going to do is scamper over here. She runs past you, Alira, and then, oh, fuck, and heals. Sir Marcius, you heal 6 hit points.
Thank you.
So she gestures and touches you, and you can feel that nasty cut in your arm sort of like seals up with magical power. Next up is the remaining skeleton. That skeleton says, "Where are you going?" And it doesn't want to take a penalty from attacking around the corner because you would get cover then. So it staggers forward. It's only a step. So then it swings its scimitar at you again, and a nat 1. Which means a fumble, guys. So while I did not get a chance to use my critical hit deck tonight, I will get to use my critical fumble deck, which is almost as good. And it's with an NPC. So you guys ready to... See, if we were playing in person, I would let you guys draw these cards. Because that would be fun. Here we go, guys. Boom. Nat 1. He's using a melee attack, Bohemian Ear Spoon. You are deafened until healed. So I think what happens is he swings this thing, that crude, deteriorated scimitar, and it's sort of like boom off of his shield. You know, like when you hit like the sweet spot of an aluminum bat, and it runs all the way up your arm.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of what happened with a Skelly. He boom hits the shield, like the boss in the middle of the shield, and it's sort of like his bones are rattling. Alira, what are you doing?
Alira. All right. Well, she will use Ray of Frost again.
Again. Okay, so it still is the -4, unfortunately, because it's in melee. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Not good. This is once again goes off, but it's once again goes wild, unfortunately. If she wants to move, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you Bungus, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to attempt to use my improvised weapon.
Okay, can I make a tactical suggestion here?
Yeah.
I would suggest first using acrobatics so you can avoid the attack of opportunity from that Skelly, and I'd position yourself right here. Because I'm just going to double check and see if undead take damage from take finesse damage, because your sneak attack might apply.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay.
But you for sure, because you're flanking him, you will definitely get a +2 to hit, which means the net will only be a -2.
Right, that'll really help out.
Yeah. So let me just see if the undead, because undead creatures have a bunch of different immunities. And I can't remember, like different versions of D&D do go back and forth on whether a rogue sneak attack can affect them or not.
Right. I mean, it makes sense.
I think it can. I mean, like, it's not that you're hitting like everything's got a vital spot. Like for the rogue, for the skeleton, I would say it's like spinal column, right, or spinal cord.
Right, like it's the weakest. Right, the spot that you can break the most bones, essentially.
Yep. So I have. I do have some bad news, though, Jeff.
Yeah.
In Pathfinder, it seems that they are very much in favor of rogues being awesome, and you can do your damage, your sneak attack damage against this thing.
Nice.
So you could tumble in there.
Oh yeah.
Shit! 26. So yeah, you sort of like have dived your way in there. You grab this like plank or whatever out. You dive, roll in. This thing has no way of getting in on you. You now have effectively a -1 to hit, but you will be able to do your sneak attack damage against this thing if you connect. So let's see.
All right.
I got a good feeling about this.
So I just roll melee.
I would sure. Let's just roll on melee. Ooh!
Decent roll.
Fuck, you got -2 though.
Oh yeah, that's right. So it's only a 14.
So close.
Shit.
So you're almost, like you would have just a perfect hit to just collapse this brittle skeleton. But at the last second, you see it sort of like jerks its head and its hollow eyes look at you, and then it ducks to the side. And your club hits the ground. Next up is Costin. So Costin has his what do you call it? His battle axe out, and his musket was dropped to the ground, I think.
Yeah, but he saw how effective Annabelle was, so he tells Annabelle to attack.
Okay.
Do I roll again?
Yep. So no, you don't have to. Against this new thing here. Let's see here. What does attack say? Attack says the attack trick. The animal attacks apparent enemies. I think this is quite clearly.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
he's still directing Annabelle to attack.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead. So just go roll with Annabelle. For his action, if you wanted, you could.
Oh my God! She rolled a 1.
Hey, you want to know another interesting tidbit, guys?
Yeah.
Want to know one reason why firearms are so fucking deadly? Because they do both piercing and bludgeoning damage.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So okay, so that first slam is a miss, but she does have 2 hands. So wait, that's a nat 1.
Oh, even if that was allowed, I rolled a second nat 1.
Oh no!
That's hilarious.
All right, so first one. Let's see what her fumble is.
Wow.
Her fumble On the receiving end, the attack deals damage to you instead of the target. So she takes 4 points of damage from that first fumble.
Wow.
She misses, and now let's see what the second fumble is. Jeff, I appreciate you letting me use both. I got to use my fumble deck 3 times today.
Nice.
Surrounded by foes, your attack hits an ally within reach and is a critical threat. You must roll to confirm the critical hit.
Oh my god.
Okay, so is Ubungus even or odds?
He's evens.
He's evens. Okay, so it's odds, so it's Costin. So Annabelle's sort of going just berserk.
I think she misses the first one and hits herself, and it just makes her more berserk, and then she's like her second slam is hits Costin.
Wait. There's actually a second target that's possible too. Steve, is Alira evens or odds?
Oh, I guess it could
Odds.
be Alira.
Odds? Oh, I rolled a 17. So it makes sense story-wise that she would hit Alira rather than her owner. But now I need Annabelle to make a slam attack again against Alira.
Oh god. Where was I? There it is. Oh, good. It's not a very great roll.
Well,
Steve,
actually,
tell me your AC's higher than 13.
Nope.
No.
Her
Oh,
AC's
God.
an 11. So Alira takes 4 points of damage from the monkey.
Alrighty.
Wow, she's flailing around. Do you want Annabelle to try her bite attack, or is she going to quit while she's ahead?
No, she is still gonna try and bite this thing because she's.
So I picture she's.
Okay, what? That's not even possible.
That's ridiculous.
Shit. Okay, so
What is compounding 5% rolls?
Is her okay? Her bite is a bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing. My goodness. So let's just pick whichever one. Oh no, it's a melee. All or nothing. You take a -1 penalty on attack rolls until you score a critical hit. So I think until she gets some satisfaction, she's so frustrated with having missed so many times, and then hit herself and hit Alira, that she's going to take -1 to hit until otherwise she hears. So, ooh, that's not good. Sir Marcius, can you take this thing down?
Let's try.
Hey, Sir Marcius, can I make one observation here?
Yeah.
You know what does bludgeoning damage?
The side of a sword?
Your shield.
Ah. I don't have a shield attack.
You don't?
Not in my under attacks.
Hold on here. Let's see here. Commercial weapons.
Nope.
Shield. I may not have given you one. Sorry. Well, maybe I actually don't know whether you can attack with it. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Heavy shield. Yeah, it'll do 1d4 damage, and it's bludgeoning damage. So basically, Steve, why don't you? Hold on, let me open up good old Sir Marcius here. So I think I can add this pretty quickly here.
The odds of that happening are less than 1/100%. Or sorry, they're about 1/100%.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
So let's see here. Attack type is melee. It does 1d4 damage. Bludgeoning damage. AC. Okay. Steve, that should work for you now. You go ahead and make your. If you want to use your shield, go ahead and make your shield attack.
Heavy shield. Check it out. All right, let's try it anyway. Wah, wah.
+4 strength. Yeah, so 10 is not, unfortunately, going to be good enough. You leap forward and try and bash this thing with your shield, but it's unfortunately still too darn quick. All right, so Tala is up, and she Oh boy, she's gonna take a 5-foot step and get the fuck out of this thing's reach. And I think that's all for her. Then it is the skeleton again. So let's see here. I got a couple different options here. I got Annabelle. I got, I'll just roll a d6 and count my way around here. So 1, 2. Annabelle. Annabelle is this thing turns. Oh man, that hits 17. It hits Annabelle, and Annabelle takes only 1 point of damage. So it's just a grazing strike as this scimitar lashes out. She's sick of, or this Skelly is sick of battering away against the knight's shield. Illyria, you can try and hit with that ray of frost this time, or what?
I think so.
So then you empower your this like sort of like mist or whatever sort of forms around your vapor forms around your hands. You lash out with a white bolt, and again it misses. Shoot.
And I miss again.
Wow, that's some bad rolling.
You bungus.
Yes.
Let's see if you can correct your aim here. This thing's turned towards you now.
All right.
You still get your bonus. So it's only -2 to hit.
Oh my gosh! I got
so
16 again.
Shit.
Oh my gosh!
You know what it is? It's because your strength's so crap too.
Oh yeah, it's just +0. It's just a straight d20 roll.
Yeah. Okay. So you swing at this thing, and again, you're not able to connect. Costin, what are you doing? Costin has his gun back again. He can make an attack if he likes.
Okay. Yeah. I guess he could probably shoot right over Humongous, or what?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He'll just take the penalty of firing into melee.
Right.
Yeah.
He might as well. Okay.
He brings because the advantage is it's firing against touch.
Right.
Right. So the touch AC is usually easier to hit.
Here we go. The old musket.
And
wow.
Fires, and it unfortunately goes wide. Thankfully, Sir Marcius, you are not hit.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of that's sort of like wow, that whizzing sound of bullets flying past you. You're like, what the? Annabelle.
All right, Annabelle. See if you can correct all your serious blunders from last round.
Yeah. And is Annabelle's I think taking -1 to hit as well too because of her frustration. So that's a miss. Let's try it. She's got another slam. Hey, no, that's not hit. Shit. And then the bite. Fuck. This thing is keeping her at a distance. She's not able to get past this thing's defenses. Gosh. Sir Marcius, can you try and bring this thing down? It's Skelly.
We got to try.
Now you know, Kev, a 15 AC is just about impossible for our party.
Yeah. Love low levels. Whoa! Look at that.
Yay.
Yeah, but it's got... Oh, you're hitting it with the shield. Yeah, nice.
Oh, it didn't add your strength to it, though, for some reason. Oh, actually, it's a fucking user interface. I think I told you guys that the old IT adage, problem between keyboard and chair. Yeah, that's that would be your fucking Bush League DM here, screwing up and not adding your strength. So actually, let's see here. Damage ability is strength. So you don't need to reroll, Steve. What is your strength bonus?
My strength bonus is
+3. So that's actually 7 points of damage.
Hey,
wow.
Nice. That's decent.
So yeah, so you sort of get fed up with the shit, and then you swing out with your shield, and it just annihilates this thing. It again scatters its remains to the ground like it's nothing. It falls apart. I mean, if you imagine like one of those like medical display skeletons, and then if you smashed it with the with a giant plank of wood, this thing went from an animated and vicious opponent to just a pile of a body's remains. Okay, so with that thing clattered to the ground, Baylor Hemlock kind of stands forward and looks at you guys and says, "What was that?" Who has? I don't know why Baylor is suddenly sounding like fucking Batman, but
I'm still pissed at Baylor. The picture you have of him, he's holding a giant fucking hammer.
yeah, and he has been the whole time.
What a dick.
Well, hasn't really been room for him to get in there, to be honest.
I know, but I'm just saying that he's a total.
Yeah.
It's like the guy whose job it is and who's holding the correct weapon to fight these things is like standing patrolling.
Okay. So what's inside
No
here,
overtime
guys?
for him.
You quickly kind of do a search, or you peer inside there, and it appears that there's nothing else in there. You guys can go ahead and move inside now, and I'll move Baylor inside so you've got light. He steps in with you guys. What's happened here? Where did they come from? And he looks around, and the sarcophagus sarcophagi, I guess, that are in here, most of them have their lids on them, but one is missing a lid. And he steps forward and says, "No, this is Tobin's tomb." And he sort of looks at the, it's near where that pile of rubble is that you were going through there, Ubungus.
Okay.
And would you guys you two are the ones who ran in there, so each of you guys, Alira and Ubungus, give me a perception check, please.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. Oh.
Oh, yeah, easily. Okay. Ubungus, you notice that there's something in the corner right near over here.
Okay, I'll go investigate.
It is a robe.
I'll lift it up and show it to Baylor.
He looks, what is that?
Some kind of a robe.
You don't.
Is it local?
Hold on here. You know, I can tell you what the description is. What's that here? Sorry. Gotta love Pathfinder. This is just great having so much cool shit to refer to here. Okay. So what this looks like, guys. It looks
And
like
after the scene, am I gonna go?
Yeah, no, that's fine. We'll finish this up just with this reveal here. So it looks like this thing is a dark colored robe that has embroidery on it, but it looks like there are things that have been pulled off here from the stains. It looks like there were like patches or something that were on here at one point. You can tell that there's slight discolorations between the other parts of the robe and where something was.
Yeah.
Just as a mechanical thing, Steve, if you wanted to say, do a quick use of a cantrip to detect magic,
Yeah.
that might give you. And I'm prompting you guys pretty heavily right now, just so you get used to the idea of what you can do with your abilities.
Sure.
Also, I won't do that always. It's just okay. So you see that. What I need you to do then, Steve, is you notice that this thing has a faint aura. No, it has a moderate aura of necromancy, but it seems to be fading. Why don't you give me, Steve, a spellcraft check? Let's see if you can identify what this thing was.
All right.
Fine, let's see here. 15 plus the item's caster level. Okay, so it's going to be tricky here. Let's see. Oh, man, nothing to you. Yeah, you know
Boom.
exactly what this thing is. So what this is, Steve, this is a robe of bones. It's
A
something
robe of bones.
A robe of bones, or at least it was. The aura is fading. What this thing normally does is it has patches on them that are sort of embroidered in there. And you can kind of pull the pieces off, these magical patches off, and you toss them to the ground, and they form into a variety of different kinds of undead creatures. You know, like there's human skeletons, wolf skeletons, a horse. And you can sort of picture that they're like these embroidered things. Once they've all been deployed, it slowly loses its magic. And looking at this thing, it looks like it's used all of the robes. So we guess the two things you fought, they were things that were deployed from that robe of bones. You're saying that out loud, and so Baylor is saying, you're saying that someone or something left those here to wait for us?
That's what it would seem like.
Then where is Father Tobin's remains?
Well, now that is indeed a mystery.
And it is a mystery that we will have to solve in 2 weeks' time. So let me log out a roll 20 here. He's a game. Sorry, I know we went a little bit over time here, guys. And sorry, Jeff, I normally try to check in with you guys to make sure that if we go over, we're not screwing up anyone's schedule here. Turn the camera back on. Oop, one thing. Here we go. All right. So for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 5 of our Rise of the Runelords campaign. We hope you've enjoyed. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, in particular, if we screwed up things in the rules, which we are very prone to do, we're new to Pathfinder. So if we screw anything up and you want to correct us, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, we hope you've enjoyed. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye.